Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Kathopanishad, part 1, verse number 13. In the 10th and 11th, we saw that our Nachiket, he asks for the first boon, and that boon was the return to his father, and that his father must recognize him as and when he left him. He should not feel guilty, he should be happy, and we saw that. And the Lord of Death, he gives that boon that when you go back by my sanction, your father will recognize as you left him, and he'll have many years of happiness. And that we told you last week, that this body is the product of our parents, and the first responsibility is towards the parents. If that duty is not carried out, then, and if a person is taking non-performance of duty, hard work, as an escape for sannyas, an escape for vanaprasth, an escape for going to an ashram, going to the Himalayas. Why? Because he doesn't want to take care of the parents, he doesn't want to listen to the parents, and so on. It will keep uh, troubling him from inside. So the first level was our responsibility is towards our parents, and that he fulfilled. Now he comes to the second verse. In the 12th verse we saw last week. What was that? Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti na tatra tvam na jaraya vibheti ubhe tirtva shanaya pipase shokati gomodate swargaloke. There we see that Nachiket, even though he is 8 years old, he's been a good student. Huh? What are you all, as a person living on this planet, expressing through this, having this body, expressing through this body? What is that you cherish? First you cherish is your parents, then comes your children, then comes your wealth. After those two, the next is your wealth, your properties, your investments, your lifestyle. And many of the human beings living on earth, they are living in heaven. Why? They think they can get whatever they want at a flick of a finger. They have servants, they have cars, they got chauffeurs. They don't have to calculate save any money to travel here or there, They don't have to think, should I buy a cloth or not buy a suit? They don't have to think to change cars. They don't have to think about anything, where the next meal is going to come from. If all these basic necessities are taken care of, a person is in heaven. But what else is heaven? Here it says, Swarge loke na bhayam kinchana asti. Swargalok is that where there is no fear. Fear is what? Fear is always of death. Nobody wants to die. Everyone knows that they are going to die one day, but nobody thinks that they are going to die the next moment. Nobody thinks that they are going to die tomorrow. They think it's far away. But at the same time, because that thought of death is not there, they run after the world, one thing. But then what do? They compensate that fear of death by accumulating memories, relations, possessions, as if that is a cushion around them from death. To hear this sounds very foolish, but that's exactly every human being that is doing. This is what they are doing. So look at yourself. How many clothes do you need? How many cars do you need? How many meals do you need? How many TVs do you need? Is all this wealth a cushion from the inevitable death? So, what is Swargalok? Swarge loke na bhayam kinchan asti. He says, man usually goes through birth, childhood, youth, old age, and death. On the earthly plane, there are these five. In the Swarg, in the heavens, there is only birth, there is only childhood, and there is only youth. There is no old age and death there. They say in heavens, heat and cold doesn't trouble you, hunger and thirst doesn't trouble you, old age and death doesn't trouble you. You see? Wow! Yeah, that is a wonderful place to go. I will. And for that, you see, every religion is hooking you on only with this laddu of going to heaven, only with this sweet meat of going to heaven, and they manipulate our minds. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti, na tatra tvam na jaraya bhiveti. Na tatra tvam jaraya, old age and death. Or first there is no fear, and then there is no old age and death. Ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase. There is no hunger and thirst there. And then shokatigo modate swargaloke. And when these six shad urmis they are called, heat, cold, hunger, thirst, old age and death, one goes beyond grief, and thus one enjoys, rejoices in heaven. How long will that person rejoice? As long as you have got the merits. Once the merits are over, pop, you come down on the, depending upon where you need to go. Once the merits are over, it's not necessary that you come back to earth. You can go to a pig body also, a dog body also. So in this way, it is only in today's time, like even at home, me and mom, we discuss what is death. But for other people, death is a taboo word. How can you speak like this? How can you talk about death? What are you afraid of? Death is only a principle. Death is not an event. And the more, and it seems in those days, death was a common topic. There was no issue about it. There's no issue about it. People freely discussed. Here to talk, the other day I was telling someone, and when I said, oh, when this happens, that happens to this person, oh, don't say like that, don't say like that, you should not speak like that. I said, why? You know that you are going to live forever? Is there any guarantee that you are going to live forever? Tomorrow I go in the car, accident, over. Or I sit in meditation and I don't come out of meditation, over. Somewhere the death will come. Better be prepared. That is our goal. So here when it says Shokatigo Modate Swargaloke, so he's creating a preamble before he asks his second boon. He says, I've heard about this Swargalok where there is no, these 6 things are not there, and therefore in the olden times and in Upanishadic lore, in the Vedic lore, death is a great teacher, and that's why we have Katha Upanishad, where Lord Death himself is the teacher, and we must take it like that in our daily life. Death is our teacher. Every breath dies, everything, every day dies, every waker dies, every dreamer dies, every sleeper dies. How many times the husband dies and how many times the father dies, only to be reborn again. It's a phenomena. The thought of father comes, the thought of father goes. Goes means death. It can become a great teacher. So don't have a taboo around it कि मौत के बारे में नहीं बात करनी है, that we should not talk about death. If you don't talk about death and remain afraid of death, you are easily manipulated by religion. Easily. I'm not saying religion in the truest sense, the religion as it is practiced today. So now, coming to the next verse, in the 13th verse he says, the Nachiket, he is asking for the Agni Vidya, the Vaishwanara Vidya, by which one can get to the heavens. And we told you last week, heavens, compared to the earthly plane, the heaven where Indra is, it's a greater, higher heaven, where these 6 things are absent. There is even greater, that is the Satyalok. There are 7 more, and the highest one is the Satyalok, where the Brahmaji himself is there. And I gave the details last week, talked a little bit about it. So here he says in the, if we can repeat, 13th verse, Swatam Agnim Swargyam Adhyeshi Mrityo, Satvam Agnim Swargyam Adhyeshi Mrityo, Prabruhi Twagam Shraddadhanaya Mayyam, Prabruhi Twagam Shraddadhanaya Mayyam, Swargaloka Amrutatvam Bhajanta, Swargaloka Amrutatvam Bhajanta, Etadvitiyena Vrune Varena, Etadvitiyena Vrune Varena. Together, Satvam Agnim Swargyam Adhyeshi Mrityo, Prabruhi Tvam Shraddadhanaya Mayyam, Swargaloka Amrutatvam Bhajanta, एतद्वितीयेन वृणे वरेण. O Yamraj, O Mrityo, Hey Mrityo, O Lord of Death, O great teacher, your Mrityu. He says, eh, uh, you have uh, meditated upon Adhyeshi, you have meditated upon the sacrificial fire of the heavens. Satvam Agnim Swargyam Adhyeshi Mrityo. You have meditated. See, once upon a time, when Lord of Death, before he became Lord of Death, once upon a time, before Indra became the king of heavens, once upon a time, before the Surya Devata, the Lord Sun, became the Lord Sun, once upon a time, all these great principles, potentials of the creation, they were also, they did some tapasya, they did some practices, they did a lot of meditation, and something was, just as each one of us, we have been, something within us pushes us to go after a particular profession. Something pushed me to be a sannyasi, something pushed you to be an accountant, something pushed you from inside to be a doctor, some imagination, some urge, some desire, some higher ideal, something. So similarly, all these, they all did tapasya, and when the time came to ask, each one asked for what they wanted. So Lord Death, he wanted to be, who is Lord Death? He is the son of S-O-N of S-U-N. So he asked, I want to be the Lord Death. So he was given that position. He worked for it. It was not that it was handed over to him. Each potentiality was not handed over the responsibilities. They were checked. They had to prove. You must have those qualities, you must have those attributes, you must have that responsibility and accountability to handle that position. And when you are not able to handle that position, then you are thrown out of that position. By whom? By someone higher. Who? The Ishvara. So Indra keeps changing. Every Manvantara, Indra keeps changing. So here he says, O Lord Death, you have meditated upon the sacrificial fire, Swargyam Agnim, and the fire of the heaven. So please explain to me. Please explain to me. Prabruhi Tvam Mahiyam Shraddha Dhanaya. Why? Because I am having extreme faith. I am having Shraddha. I am a Shraddhalu, meaning I am desirous, keen, committed to knowing this sacrificial fire. See? And longing for it. Swargaloka amrutatvam bhajante etadvitiyena vrune varena. So, those who have reached the Swargalok, have reached the worshipped heaven. Heaven can be Bhur Bhuva Swa Tatsa Mahajanaha Satyam. Satyam was the highest, I told you. So some people want to go to the heavens where Indra is. Some people want to go to the Siddhalok. Some people want to go to the plane of existence or plane of consciousness where the ancestors are, where the Siddhas are, where the Tapasvis are, or where the Satya, the Brahmaji, the creator is. So these are the different ones. What are you fired up by? If you are fired up by fire, money, you will only go to Yaksha Lok. Yaksha is Kuber. That is maximum you will reach. And Yaksha is between earth and the heavens. It's not even the heaven. It's below that. So choose carefully what you want as the end game of your life. Chart your life with great deliberation, that every day, every hour, every day, every week, every month, there is growth, there is maturity, there is expansion of your consciousness, not contraction of your consciousness. Nachiket at this young age, he is already, first he looked at the physical level, now he is at the subtle level. Physical level was given by the parents, he asked for the peace of mind of his parents. The second level is the subtle level. Subtle level is nobody has seen the Swarga, nobody has seen heavens, but everyone is praying for heavens, everyone is seeking heaven. Why? This is exactly the reason. No hunger, thirst, no old age and death. All your desires are satisfied instantaneously. So, those having reached the heaven, Swarga Loka Amrutatvam Bhajante, or thinking about, worshipped and meditated upon heaven, attain Amrutatvam, attain immortality. This immortality is not the Jivan Mukti. This immortality is relative immortality. Compared to the earth, heavens seem to be a plane of existence where immortal beings are. The Rakshasas are always attacking the heavens. Why? They want the immortal nectar. Why do people do plastic surgery? They want to remain immortal. Why do we do fire sacrifice, the Havan? Why do we do the pujas? Why do we celebrate? Because we want the heavens. It gives us, thinking about it gives us joy. See? Now and he says, Etad dvitiyena vrune varena, and this, with this I ask you the second boon. What is the second boon? The knowledge of the sacrificial fire. Knowledge of the sacrificial fire. The Shankar Bhashya goes, एवं गुण विशिष्टस्य स्वर्गलोकस्य प्राप्ति साधन भूतम अग्निम स त्वं मृत्युः अध्येषि स्मरसि जानासि इति अर्थः. He says, O Lord, you remember, you know, अध्येषि स त्वं मृत्यु अध्येषि स्मरसि जानासि इति अर्थः. This is to be understood as, where that verse says that the first line of the verse, he says that Adhyeshi is to be taken as Smarasi Janasi. Smarasi is to remember, Janasi is to know. You not only, I know that you remember, I know that you know. Who is saying? Nachiket is saying to Lord Death. He says, O Lord, you remember, you know, you have meditated upon the fire of heaven, meaning you have obtained, accomplished the fire of heaven, which is of such distinct qualities. See, so Nachiket is is showing faith. He knows. He says, I know that you know. You may keep saying, no, I don't know, but I know that you know. Here it is not said. In the third question, he will say. And therefore, uh, हे मृत्यो यतः त्वं प्रब्रूहि कथं श्रद्धानाय श्रद्धावते मह्यम स्वर्गार्थिने. He says, O Lord, O Mrityo, He Mrityo, Yatah tam prabruhi, whenceforth you explain, communicate to me that fire of heaven which is desired, desired or longed by me. If you are a Rama Bhakta, you want to go to Saket. You are Shiva Bhakta, you want to go to Kailash. Another two types of heavens. You are a devotee of Krishna, you want to go to Vaikuntha. You are devotee of Ganapati, you want to go to Ganapati Lok. You are whosoever devotee you are. You want to go and live with them, be with them, have their qualities, have their attributes. See? So he says here, in the continuing with this, येन अग्निना चित्तेन स्वर्गलोकाः स्वर्गो लोको येषां ते स्वर्गलोकाः यजमाना अमृतत्वम् अमरणतां देवत्वं भजन्ते प्राप्नुवन्ति तद एतद अग्निविज्ञानं द्वितीयेन वरेण वृणे. He says that he who by kindling the heavenly fire, the Vaishwanara Agni, that we will talk about it, by the heavenly fire goes to heavens. You cannot go to heaven if you don't desire. Huh? Whatever you do, you don't come to a satsang if you don't desire to be in a satsang. Simple. You don't. Someone just now came and gave me some laddus and murukku and shave. Diwali time, happy Diwali to all of you. So someone came. They came because they desired that we have to go and give it to Swamiji. If that thought was not there, they wouldn't have come. If we don't have a thought of going to heavens, then we will not go. And sometime or the other, we may be in Upanishad. Not many Upanishads talk of heaven. But here we are. And we are here to expand our consciousness so that we abide in that one without a second consciousness. The interim stage between the ethereal, the earthly consciousness and the infinite consciousness, in between is this heaven. How many? There are 7 of them. So we are not going, we are just taking the word heaven. But any of those 7 heavens are accessed only through sacrificial fire. Now, don't you have to put hard work, hard yaka, the Australian way? You have to sweat in order to plant the seeds, plow the crop, then market the grains, and then gain a profit. You have to work hard to get some money by which you can get some goodies. So sacrificial fire, what did you sacrifice there? You put your time, you put your energy, you put your hard work, you put your even though you have to take care of your children and your family, but no, you sacrificed all that so that you can go and make a living. That's hard work. It requires a lot of grit. That is at the earthly plane. You work hard, you get money in your account or digital money, or you get some money in your hand. But for heaven, should I work hard for heaven? I don't know where I will go after death. Then you will never put efforts towards heavens. But then you see, so many churches, so many temples, so many mosques. Everywhere people are praying for what? Why are the terrorists killing? Because they want to go to heaven. They will get 70 virgins there. That's why they kill. Why do you do pujas? Why do you go to temples? Because we are looking for a way out. We are looking for a plane where what is keeping us on this earthly plane? Hunger and thirst continuously. कभी रुकता ही नहीं है. Every morning I eat. Again by afternoon I am hungry and thirsty. Again late afternoon I need a coffee. Again by evening I need a dinner. Again before going to sleep I need a cup of tea or chamomile tea to put me to sleep, because sleep doesn't come. I got so much tensions in my mind. Continuously. The moment I turn 30 years, I start feeling old. Some diseases come. 40-year-old, some more diseases catch you. The energy becomes less. By the age 50, then you have a midlife crisis. 40s and 50s, you have midlife crisis. After that, 50, it's only downhill. There's no uphill. There's no, nothing is getting better, only getting worse. Now you are in a management mode. Ki, okay, let me manage it in such a way that it doesn't get worse. Health, wealth, money, relationships, everything. So is there a place where I am free of all this? Yes, there is. Where? Heavens. So everyone aspires for heaven. Everyone wants to go to the abode of their Lord. Be one with the Lord. In peace and happiness forever and ever. It's not forever and ever and ever. If it is the lower one, only till as long as we have merits. Only till then. Then what happens? Then you are popped out of the heaven. So he who kindling the heavenly fire goes to heavens, meaning those which are of heaven attain immortality. This is the relative immortality that we talked about, and that immortality is divinity. We are not talking about Jivan Mukti, we are not talking about self-realization, we are talking about God realization here. For someone, Indra could be the god of heavens, could be the god. For someone, Brahmaji, the god of the Satya Loka, the plane of existence where only truth is. Then that is the place, depending upon wherever, as I gave you some examples just now. Divinity. Therefore, by the second boon, I ask for this knowledge of fire, O Lord of Death. Please share that with me. And in this manner, our Nachiket, he is very clear. Systematically he is approaching. He must have formulated the plan. Have you ever formulated your plan in your mind? How you are going to live your life? By what age you want to be realized? You want to be happy now, or you want to be happy in 5 years or 10 years, or after retirement, or after death? When do you want to be happy? Have you decided that?
Never comes.
So we have never planned. But when the Lord of Death said to Nachiket, I give you 3 boons, immediately he formulated a plan. immediately. With the first boon, he handled the earthly plane. With the second boon, he is asking for the secret of the subtle plane. See, the subtle plane. So he wants to know that secret. Now let's read the next verse and then we'll see where it takes us. Idam shruter vachanam. Now the Lord, what do you call? Oh, I'm in the wrong page. Mrityoho pratignyayam. Now the Lord Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, he promises. What is that? He takes the pratignya. He takes a promise, makes a promise. And what is that? Prate bravimi tadhume nibodha. Prate bravimi tadhume nibodha. Swargyam agnim nachiketa prajanan. Swargyam agnim nachiketa prajanan. Ananta lokapti madho pratishtham. Ananta lokapti madho pratishtham. Vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. Vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. Together. Prate bravimi tadume nibodha. Swargyam agnim nachiketa prajanan. Ananta lokapti madho pratishtham. Vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. He says, hey, Prate bravimi, he says, O Nachiket, I, the guardian of the knowledge, know it very well. So he straight away accepts it. Yes, I know the knowledge of the sacrificial fire and I guard it very well. That means it is not freely distributed to every Tom, Dick and Harry. It is distributed only, given only to that person who is qualified, who is deserving. I guard it, I am the guardian of that knowledge and I know it very well. And here he says, and this I will tell you, I will expound it to you, I will instruct to you. You understand, here it says, Ananta lokaptim atha pratishtham vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. He says that you understand it from me very well. I'll tell you what does that mean very well. As it attains infinite worlds. Ananta lokaptim. You understand it very well from me because this secret of the sacrificial fire, through it you can attain infinite worlds. And this sacrificial fire is the substratum. Vidhi tametam pratishtha atha pratishtham. Pratishtham, it is the substratum, it is the foundation on which this ananta lokas. The ananta means infinite, lokas means planes of existences. And the basis of all these infinite number of planes of existences is this sacrificial fire. The fire of the heavens. And it is their substratum. And where is its place? Where is its location? It is located in your intellect. Vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. Guha means intellect. Nuha means also the secret cave. That secret cave is in the is the intellect. So it is not somewhere outside. Where is the husband? It is in your intellect. You have become convinced of it that I am the husband. Where is the father? It is also in the intellect. I have become convinced I am the father. How come there is no confusion? When you see the father doesn't come up, and when you see the children, husband doesn't come up. How come? Because you are convinced. You have understood very well what your role is. And you can flick through roles without getting affected by those roles if you understand first and foremost you are the human being. That these roles come and go depending upon who comes in front of me. So where is this idea that I am a human being? Also in the intellect. So who is the substratum of all the roles? The body, the human being. So if you accept that you are the human being first, then you will not be affected by the roles that you are playing. If you accept that the waker is coming and going, the dreamer is coming and going, the sleeper is coming and going, the meditator is coming and going, but I know that all these four are coming and going, then I must be someone other than these four. It's a deduction of through observation. Who is this who is this other one who knows? Oh, how can it be someone else? It is me only. Then you have come to the unchanging principle. See? Then in that case, the body which is giving, allowing the roles to come, the body is the I am the body is the conviction, that is the substratum on which all the roles come and go. Same way, I am someone. I am the substratum. What is it? I don't know. I only know I. On which the waker, dreamer, sleeper, meditator come and go. Every day. What is that on which all the heavens are expressing and on coming and going? What is that? Just as one man manifests as so many roles, just as one self manifests as waker, dreamer, sleeper, meditator, what is that which manifests as the entire cosmos? What is that? Cosmos meaning all the planes of existence. Bhurbhuva Swaha Tapa Janamaha Satyam. 7 lokas, these are the heavenly abodes. Each one, when you go from Bhu to Bhuvaha, your consciousness expands. From Bhuva to Suvaha, your consciousness expands. So by the time you reach Satyam, 7 times your consciousness has expanded. Same thing happens in Kundalini also. But here in Upanishad we will not talk about it. 7 chakras, 7 planes of 7 levels of expansion of your consciousness. Ashtanga Yoga, same, your consciousness is expanding. Kriya Yoga, same thing. So are we expanding in our life? What does expansion mean? Expansion doesn't mean increasing your circumference and increasing your weight. I am expanding. No. Expansion means inclusivity. Expansion means at one ment. So first I was alone. I accepted a woman, a girl, to be into the definition of I. I expanded. With reference to that girl, I was called a husband. Now she is mine. Then children came. They are also mine. My consciousness is expanding. I am responsible not only for my wife but also for my children, also for my in-laws, also for my parents, also for my brothers, sisters, also for her brothers and sisters, for the cousins. Are we expanding or are we comparing and competing? A saint, we see Ammachi has come here. In India you go, so many. They love everyone as if everyone is their own. Expanded consciousness. Expanded consciousness. So are we in our daily living consciously expanding our consciousness? Or are we crystallizing our consciousness? Crystallizing our consciousness means ego. Expanding our consciousness means expanding the ego. What is expanding the ego? That ego which includes everything and everyone. That is expanded consciousness. We are talking at relative level. See? So where are we? Nachiket, at this young age, he understands this. So therefore, he is asking the teacher, the Lord Death, for this sacrificial, the secret of this sacrificial fire. He says, prate tubhyam prabravimi यत्त्वया प्रार्थितं तदु मे मम वचसः निबोध बुद्ध्यस्व एकाग्रमनाः सन् स्वर्गाय हितं स्वर्गसाधनम् अग्निं हे नचिकेतः प्रजानन् विज्ञातवान् अहसन् इति अर्थः. He says that for which you request, that well known, what well known? The sacrificial fire, the secret of the sacrificial fire, requested by you. He says, prarthitam, yat tvaya prarthitam tadu me mama vachasah nibodha. So prarthitam, that which is requested by you, understand. I understand this very well. He is telling Nachiket, yes, I know it, but you have to understand it very well. The teacher can tell. We have to become the patra. We have to become the vessel. If we are already full, the teacher cannot pour anything into it. So how do we become empty? Complete surrender. No comparison with another teacher. This idea that I know already a lot, let me see what he can teach me. You are already full. Then you can go to hundreds of teachers, still knowledge will not click. It's only a click. The, the total responsibility is on the student. In Kenopanishad we saw, when the teacher told, he says, I have given, it's your responsibility to understand or not understand. This is the only way I can teach you, in contradictions. That it is the mind of the mind, it's the prana of the prana, is the speech of the speech, eye of the eye. The student got frustrated when he was told like that. What is that which inspires everything? He says, why don't you give me a straight answer? He says, this is how I was told and I worked it out. Now you work it out. There is no straight answer for it. You have to work it out. That what is that inspire? That inspires Atmatvena. So here Yamraj is also telling that, oh Nachiket, that you must understand this very well with single pointed attention of mind to my words. Whatever I speak, you must listen to it with single pointed focus. And not only just focus, some people focus like this, with understanding also. Understanding will only come when we are subjective. I will instruct you, advise you on that fire that accomplishes accomplishes the benefits of heaven or leads you to heaven, whichever you choose. Meaning, that which will, if you are looking for freedom from old age and death, you are looking for freedom from hunger and thirst, you are looking for freedom from heat and cold, the heating bill and cooling bill is too much. I want a place where there is no heating bill and cooling bill. Okay, chalo bhai, heaven. I don't want medical insurance. Chalo bhai, heaven. Eternally youthful. No expenses. All our expenses are only the utilities, food and insurances. In heaven, no expenses. Arey, wonderful that I don't need to work. No, you don't need to work. Then what will I do? You will only satisfy your desires there. Wow, this is fantastic. Now, what is your desire? If your desire is only for this, what was difficult on the earth, then you are a miserable lot. If your desire is, I want to be that, they say that all the people in the dream, the whole world, the mountains, rivers are nothing but the mind. Can I come to know while living? I want to go to that world where the whole creation is my mind alone. Have you ever desired that? If you desire that, where will you go to? You will reach Satyalok, Brahmalok, the Hiranyagarbha, where all possibilities are in the seed form. Everything is possible there. And that you are. Everything is possible. Just like in one seed, the root, the shoot, the branches, the millions and zillions of leaves of a banyan tree, which is going to live for 500, 700 years. All the fruits, the flowers that are going to come, all that is inherent within that seed. This is the cosmic seed, Satyalok. Have you ever desired that? और वही चार कि किसके घर का लड्डू अच्छा है, किसके घर की मुर्को अच्छा है, किसके दिवाली में किसका whose house was decorated more nicely. In this only we are stuck. The name of the game is expand your consciousness. At the relative level, expand your consciousness. Last week I concluded the class by saying expand your consciousness to this extent that everything is included in you and you are present in everyone. I concluded last class, one in all and all in one. Come to that. Ishvara Tattva. At the waking level, that is called Virat Purush. At the subtle level, it is called the Hiranyagarbha. At the causal level, the highest is the Ishvara. Come to any one of them, man, but come, expand. So you are listening to me here, but are these words making you suspect that you are the source of the total waking world? Are you even suspecting it? That you are the source of the entire world? स्वामी जी ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हो? I don't want that type of responsibility. I don't want to be the source of all the wars and all the COVID and all the diseases and all the killings and this, that. No, I can't. No, you have to take the good and the bad together and not be disturbed. Then alone you can raise yourself to that consciousness. An employee, when he is growing, or like our Prime Minister Modi, from being a tea seller, he has raised his consciousness to be the Prime Minister. Who is the Prime Minister? He who is thinking not about himself but for the whole country. How many? 1.3 billion people. If he is doing that, he has got expanded consciousness. But there are other prime ministers who get to those positions, they become chief ministers, they become sannyasis, they become head of the ashrams, they become temple priests, but they are only thinking of their pocket. They are only thinking what is the benefit for me in it. They can never expand. Such people can never expand. Such people can never expand. प्रब्रवीमि तन्निबोधेति च शिष्य बुद्धि समाधानार्थम वचनम. He says that I tell you this, this meaning this sacrificial, about this sacrificial fire, that sacrificial fire. Therefore you understand, meaning this is said to steady the mind, to study the mind, in other words, to fire the mind, to make it single pointed, in contemplation of something great. Every time we say think, be attentive, it is because some important point is going to come now. So at that moment, suddenly listening to a story, listening to the examples, your mind wavers here and there, and suddenly someone says think, be attentive now. Immediately you come back and become attentive. adhuna agnim stautiti, adhuna agnim stautiti, that now let's praise that fire, the Lord says. What is this? He says ananta lokaptim swarga loke, ananta lokaptim swarga loka फलप्राप्ति साधनम इति एतत् अथ अपि प्रतिष्ठाम आश्रयम जगतः विराड रूपेण. So he says that and ananta means that which is the means for attaining the ananta lokaptim. Ananta lokaptim, that this sacrificial fire is the means to attain the for attaining the heavens. And also atha api pratistham, and also it is the foundation, meaning by its in its total form, it is the foundation, it is the substratum of the world. See? Just as when I said to you, one in all in one. Water is one, but it is in all the waves. All the waves, okay, water will be Vedanta. Let's come to ocean. What is ocean? Ocean is that which is present in every wave. And every wave is present in the ocean. Actually, it is not other than the ocean. Imagining that it is an individual wave, but actually it is part and parcel of that infinite ocean. Have we ever thought that we are part and parcel of that Ishvara? Have you ever thought? Because why we are talking about Ishvara here? Because we are at the subtle level, and here we are not come to the Vedanta, that will come to the next one. But here it is the Ishvara Tattva, the physical, the subtle and the causal. So as your expansion is expanding from physical consciousness, where it will go to subtle consciousness. Subtle consciousness is finer, it is more expansive than the physical consciousness. And the causal consciousness is even more expansive as compared to the subtle consciousness. Causal consciousness is the seed of the subtle and the gross consciousness. Consciousness is the same, but its expression. In the waking consciousness, for example, we can live only this moment, but in the dream consciousness, which is subtle consciousness, we can be born in one dream and we can die also in one dream. We grow so quickly in one dream. We can go through many lives in one dream. There the rules of time as we see it on the physical plane of consciousness are not there. That's why it's called subtle. And causal is the seed. And when we say expand your consciousness, expanding the waking consciousness or the physical consciousness is going to the cosmic consciousness, which is the Virat Roop. See? Expanding the subtle consciousness is going to Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji, and expanding the causal consciousness without going to sleep. Important, because for you deep sleep state is only sleeping, ignorance. Here we are expanding. You have where can you expand? Can you expand in the causal state? No. You have to do the practice in the waking. You cannot have this satsang in the deep sleep state. You have to have the satsang in the waking and sort it all out with understanding, with intelligence. As the teacher and the scriptures have said, not according to your own imagination. And what is the expanded consciousness at the causal level? It is Ishvara. So in our life, are we going from growing? Have we accepted that this whole universe, physical universe, I am in the whole universe is in me? Have we come to this realization? Then there is a possibility of the next level, the subtle. Then you can think about the Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Then you can think about the others. First, work on this world. But we are only busy contracting our consciousness, not expanding. When we live for survival, when we live under the influence of ignorance, desires and action, karma, avidya, kama, karma, we are only contracting our consciousness. We are not expanding. To expand, you have to think of that higher one. You have to think of the possibilities that are outside the box. You have to take off your blinkers. And that becomes uncomfortable at times. What do you mean I am not the body? Have you gone mad that I am not the body? Are you mad that all the worlds are in me? That all these people and all their problems and all their issues and all their joys and all their sorrows are only an expression of my mind? You must be mad. But somewhere deep inside us, the urge is there to be complete. Every one of us has that. We want to be complete. We want to be at peace. We want to be tranquil. We want to be undisturbed. So somewhere, sometimes by grace of God, it clicks that maybe what scriptures are saying is true. Maybe the teacher is saying is true. But this is too much for me to handle. Then they go away. Because no perseverance, no capacity to stay with something which is not their immediate experience. It's only a possibility that is presented in front of them. Then how can that possibility become their reality? Only with faith. Only with trust. Then trust what the scriptures are saying, what Kathopanishad is saying is true. Instead of saying what Upanishads are saying is false, our approach should be what Upanishads are saying is true and try to see those principles expressing in your life at this moment. Because nothing in our scriptures is written which is not already happening to you. At this very moment you are expanding, but you don't know it. You are fighting it. You want to crystallize yourself. Then pain comes. That friction. You have to go through that. That is tapasya. You have to take the bitter medicine. You may vomit, you may will be, the mouth is all bad. You don't feel the taste of it at all for next 2-3 hours, maybe the whole day. But conclusion, you are healthy. Conclusion is you are healthy. So, अथ अपि प्रतिष्ठाम आश्रयम जगत विराट रूपेण, that it is also the foundation, meaning by its total form virat roop, foundation of this world, the substratum of this world. We think we are one, me versus you versus her versus him. How many? We are 17-18 of us in this satsang, listening, talking. So if the feeling is I am giving you lecture and your feeling is you are listening to a lecture, all that is okay. But what is the idea being presented here? Expanded consciousness, which will lead to Amritattvam. What will it be? So what should be our thinking here? Without crystallizing the ego, that all this is the expression of that one Virat, that one Vaishwanar, that one Lord, that one Ishvara. He alone is expressing as the speaker at one end. He alone is expressing as the listener at one end. And the game of teaching and teacher and student is going on. Same way, he alone is appearing as the gross world at one end, and he alone is expressing as the waker on one end. And the interaction between the waker and the waking world is going on. Game is going on. He alone is expressing. Then he goes away when he is tired. Then the dreamer and the dream world comes. So he, that one Ishvara alone, has become the dreamer and the dream world, the sleeper and the sleep world. There is no world there actually. Is our attention ever going in this angle? Yeah, sounds logical. But it's only words. Many people say it's only words. But words are the only way of means of communication. Without words, how do we communicate ideas? Without words, how do we inspire someone? Words are required. No, I will sit in silence. And go do what? Go to sleep. Have you prepared yourself to be in conscious silence? Then it's okay. हाँ, तो ये हो गया ना. Where are we? विराट रूपेण तम एतम अग्निम मयोच्यमानं विद्धि जानीहि त्वं निहितं स्थितं गुहायां विदुषां बुद्धौ निविष्टम इति अर्थः. So he says that secret of the sacrificial fire, that which will be told by me, you know uh, or you understand that fire to be situated in the cave of your heart, meaning the heart is said to be the intellect, the cave of the intellect, meaning understand this fire to be concentrated in the intellect of the learned men or the wise men. So, is it in the body? No. Is it in the senses? No. Is it in the breath? No. Is it in the mind? No. Because mind cannot be single pointed, it's fickle. Fickle mind bolte hai na. Then where? In the intellect. Intellect is where understanding is taking place. Intellect is the place where decisions are made. Intellect is the equipment which can think beyond its boundaries. Because intellect is the place where there is faith. Mind is doubtful mind. Intellect has, what is the quality of it? Faith. To think beyond the boundaries. Think beyond concepts. Even though it has not seen it, but it can believe, it can have faith, it can pursue. Mind will always doubt. So in this manner, so that this sacred fire, it is seated in the cave of the intellect, it is camped in the cave of the intellect, it is concentrated in the cave of the intellect of the learned men. So are we learned, or are we how should we say, two words I'll use, are we buddhiman or are we akalmand? Buddhiman is a wise person. Akalmand, buddhu. Why? Akalmand, break it up. Akal means understanding. Mand means no understanding or less understanding. So, in this manner, Nachiket is being forewarned by Lord Death that yes, very good question that you asked. Imagine you go to Lord Death and say, Yar, what is the 3 boons do you want? I should get rasmalai every day for first boon, and I want muruku every day for the second boon, and I want firecrackers. I should celebrate Diwali for rest of my life with firecrackers as a third boon. अरे गड़बड़ हो गई फिर तो. The Lord of Death is very happy to see the progress, the maturity, the wisdom of Nachiket's mind, how it is sorting itself out and asking, and the Lord of Death can only find out about a person by the questions they ask. So first he asked about his father. Second one, he is asking about the sacrificial fire. He is very happy. And therefore he is forewarning him that be attentive, be single pointed, be focused, concentrated. Where you don't let your intellect waver. How many times our intellect wavers when we are listening? That it goes thinking about our children, or thinking about our husband or wife, or thinking about, oh, I think I got thirst now, I should take a sip of water. It has wavered. Unwavering intellect, like a candle with a flame in a room where there is no breeze, it's continuously burning upwards without any flicker. That flicker is wavering without any flicker. Is our intellect like that? Is our buddhi like that? These are the prerequisites. So when we are focusing on the Lord, when we are focusing on the sacrifice, can be outside or inside. People do sacrifice by way of puja, people do sacrifice by way of invoking the fire. You can do sacrifice by way of invoking the inner fire. How? Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, by chanting the name of the Lord, by merging the imagining that the element earth is merging into element water, is merging into element fire, is merging into element air, is merging into the element space, space merging into mind, mind into intellect. You can imagine that way. Each one has a location in your body. Below your coccyx is the earth element. Coccyx to Swadhisthana, second chakra, is the water element. From second to the third is the fire element. From solar plexus, from the Anahat chakra to the Kantakup, from till this point is the air element. From here to here is the space element, then is the mind or the intellect. Merge. It is possible, but for that focus is required, Baba. You have to be available for that. Your mind has to be available to sleep, only then it becomes consumed by sleep. Are we available to this intellect? Unwavering intellect? Single pointed intellect? Like the wise men? It was to such men that the scriptures were revealed. The Vedas were revealed to such men who were with unwavering intellect. They were thinking about something which was beyond their understanding, and it revealed. They didn't know the answer. You don't know the answer, what expansion of consciousness means. We only use words to put it across to you. But what it is it your direct experience? It is and it is not. But are you available to that which is? Or we are distracted by everything that comes our way, every thought that comes and hijacks us away. For that we have to cultivate our intellect. We have to cultivate our thinking to resonate the scriptures. And that will only come through faith. And therefore he said, Nachiket said, I am the Shraddhalu. I have the one who has faith. I am deeply longing for this knowledge. I am not asking because I read it somewhere. I am not asking because I know you can give anything, so I asked you. No, I am longing for it. I know you have it and I am longing for it. Just as you are longing, if we are longing for liberation, or we are longing for sleep, yaar, bahut ho gaya, I am so tired now, I am exhausted like I was yesterday. Totally exhausted. The moment I touched the bed, I was gone. I even forgot to take the doona on top of me. I was so exhausted. How does it matter? Once I go to sleep, I don't even know I am the body. Thandi or not thandi, doona or no doona, how does it matter? But point here is single pointed mind, ready to surrender to the unknown. There the unknown is the sleep. Here unknown is the what is expanded consciousness? I don't know, you don't know. What will it be like to include the entire creation in yourself? What will it be? What will the experience be like to be the one who's expressing through every body, every sense, every mind, past, present, and future? What will it be like? You don't know. Get fired up. This is the word we use now. Get fired up. Get fired up by the idea that I am that. That is the sacrificial fire. Don't live a life of slavery to this body, to these senses, to these objects of the world. त्यागे नहीं के अमृतत्व मानसो. Give up all this slavery to these objects, to the money, to the food, to the sleep, to the wake, to the dream, to imaginations. Instead, remain focused continuously on one thing, one in all and all in one. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Tetishthad Dashangulam. How do I get to that point? God grace me. See? He says in the 14th हो गया ना, हाँ 14th 15th idam shruter vachanam. This is what the Shruti says, this is said by the scriptures. Lokadim agnim tamuvacha tasmai. Lokadim agnim tamuvacha tasmai. Ya ishtakayavatirva yathava. Ya ishtakayavatirva yathava. Sachapi tatpratyavadadyatoktam. सचापि तत्प्रत्यवदद्यथोक्तम् अथास्य मृत्यु पुनरेवाह तुष्टः अथास्य मृत्युः पुनरेवाह तुष्टः. Together. लोकादिमग्निं तमुवाच तस्मै या इष्टकायावतीर्वा यथा वा सचापि तत्प्रत्यय अवदद्यथोक्तम् अथास्य मृत्यु पुनरेवाह तुष्टः. Then the Lord explained, the Lord told, tam uvacha tasmai. Uvacha spoke, told, explained, whichever way you take it. What is this say? About those worlds and also Lokadi Agnim, about all those worlds and also about how many for size, number, etc. type of bricks are required and to invoke the fire. See, when you do a Havan, there is a complete science. And we were reading Valmiki Ramayana, the entire science is written. How many bricks you need, how to prepare the base, how to prepare the surroundings, everything is told in Valmiki Ramayana. So before you invoke the fire, you need the Havan Kund. And it's a perfect science. It is made to be only that much high, with that much wide, with that many bricks, sand at the base, etc., etc., etc. So many things are there. These type of woods are to be used, sticks are the material is to be used, to invoke the fire. This type of, can you use refined oil, can you use coconut oil, can you use this oil or that oil? No, some a particular type of oil is, ghee is supposed to be used for how, invoking the fire, and so on it goes. It's a complete science when you are looking at it outside. So here he says that to invoke the fire, and by him also everything was. Then what happened? Sa, सह च अपि tat pratyavadadya uktam. When the teacher, see, in the olden times what used to happen, I'll tell you this and then I'll say that. And then once he told the whole secret of the secret of the fire, heavenly fire, Nachiketa heard it. He repeated it ditto to the teacher. And when he repeated it ditto to the teacher, अथास्य मृत्यु पुनरेवाह तुष्टः. And when he repeated word to word what the teacher had told him, the teacher was very happy with Nachiket, and he spoke to him thus. That will be the next verse. So coming to this verse, what is that? What is the time? Okay, time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.